Okay, all right. First practice, our newly named Wayne Dench Practice Complex, an extra field out there. Feels really good to be back on the field with our players. Good idea of where we're at after day one. I mean, we got to get in better shape. Our guys knew that. We actually gave them, the July 4th week off, and then, of course, a week before we start fall camp like they always do. So we got to get in better shape. And, I just challenged our guys, we got to improve from day one to day two more than any other time. Just expectations. We got a bunch of new players. It was our first rodeo out there with the expectations, the standard and everything. With that, I thought our guys responded, but it's just the first day. First day, guys going out there, looking forward to practice two and improving. Questions?
Coach, first summer under the new strength coach, Coach Kinsey.
Yeah.
What were the main differences you saw from him? What did you see?
I think more than anything, just the everyday grind and the expectations, the standard. He's done a really good job up to this point as far as accountability, trusting each other, which is real big to team building, which I've said that before, not just us, but every team in America with as many new players everybody has. It's going to be about team bonding. It's going to be about being able to count on each other, trusting each other. I told our guys, buckle up. This fall camp's going to be a grind. It's going to be very similar to the very first year we were here. We're going to be very demanding on our players. We were today. We just need to keep improving, and once we get in pads, we're going to be physical, and we're going to be getting after it and get that hard-nosed edge back to us.
Gus, you talked a lot about the team bonding, obviously 44-something new players being in here. What have you seen from these guys over the summer? Where were they able to kind of get together, maybe do some things together that helps them out, and maybe you expect to see this fall?
Yeah, we've done some team bonding with Coach Kinsey and accountability. We're in a good spot, but there's nothing like practice. I mean, you go out there and practice, everything's real, and everything's in front of each other. The offense, defense, the coaches, the accountability is really a different deal. Being able to develop that trust. And that's really our focus, trust each other and get our coaches where we can count on them, they can count on each other, and they can count on us. So it was just the first day. Like I said, the new guys, they understand the standard now and the expectations, and we should improve, practice too.
Coach, talk about improving and expectations. It's obviously something we talk about every season, but is this year a little different? Second year in the Big 12, is that kind of looming over how much you guys want to improve from last year? How much is that in the conversation?
Yeah, we know the areas we need to improve on. The quality, depth, the physicality. We lost close games, accountability, everything that goes with that. And like I said, the big challenge is we got 40 new guys coming in with the guys we had last year. But just after one day, I'll tell you, we do have quality depth. You can tell the experience. That's probably what stands out to me. Compared to last year, we got experienced guys running around everywhere, and that's really good. It's just a matter of everybody coming together, everybody understand the expectation.
Schematically, will you implement a similar defense to last year, or are you planning on rolling out something?
Ted's got his own flavor. He's a real aggressive guy, always has been, and he did a lot of the pressure things in the spring and carried over today, and that's his identity, and he does a good job of mixing things up.
Coach, last year you added 2 centers during fall camp. This year you've had all of your centers through spring and fall. What have you noticed the differences between last year and this year at that position?
Yeah, I'll be able to tell you more once we get in pads, but I mean, just more than anything, it sounds simple, but being able to snap it in that square box where a quarterback can actually, run the offense without anything extra. We're a read zone team at our core. It's very important to snaps, but I think that's the number one thing we've improved on from the past. But, as far as, execute and we get on pads, I'll be able to tell you more.
Yesterday you announced the captains, Ethan Barr being one of them, the newcomer from the winter. What's he kind of brought to the group, and what made him kind of stand out from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, maturity, accountability, he's earned that. He just showed up. He was a team captain at the last place he was at. Doesn't surprise me at all. He's got the respect of offense, defense, special teams, coaches, and he's earned that. He's been very consistent, and, his leadership, it'll be really good to have on defense.
Gus, with so many new guys, how long does it take before you say, I've got what I need for this year, or this is going to be a struggle? How long does it take to identify it?
Yeah, you got to go through scrimmages. I mean, there's nothing like when you go out and you put the ball down. They make the coaches go on the sideline, and it's theirs. And that's when you learn, we're going to have 2 big-time quality scrimmages, possibly 3. But once we get through that, we should have a really good idea of where we're at, what we have, what we don't have, and really the biggest thing is once you identify, you build around your strengths, and so that's our plan.
How difficult is it to just identify early? Like, you got so many new faces, half the team.
Every practice. I mean, it's earn everything you get. Doesn't matter if you've been here. I told the guys, if you've been here a long time, you've been playing every day. You're earning. It's a new day. It's a new team. You're earning the respect. We won 6 games. We lost 7 last. That wasn't good enough. So it is every day you compete. And the good thing is we've got some experience. We got some quality depth. And depth in competing, it brings out the best in everybody. So as a coaching staff, every day, that depth chart is fluid and moving, which I think is really good.
You mentioned all the newcomers to UCF, but you also mentioned there's a lot of guys with playing experience coming in as well. How does that translate, especially as you guys are establishing your standard UCF? How does that translate as practice begins?
I mean, I think anytime you have experience and what they've had, now they got to figure out a way to get better. That's what I've been telling these guys. Some of them guys, I don't care if they're this and that, and the media picks them this team, that team. No, it's about getting better, and that's what our coaches, that's our responsibility. So even though we got experience, those guys need to get better. And now that we got more competition, I think that helps everybody.
Your team looks a little bit different. You added a lot of pieces after the spring. So for you, what is the biggest question that you want to see answered position-wise this camp?
I don't know if there's one position. It's more of collective on both sides of the football. Like I said, we tried to bring in some playmakers on defense that we've seen on film that they've had the ability to be playmakers. So we brought in that, we addressed that. Obviously, we got new quarterbacks. Just trying to evaluate those guys, build around those strengths, what they can do, what they're not ready to do, and then getting prepared for the season.
Now on that note, on the quarterbacks, Ja'Cory Brown was one of those new spring additions. What have you seen from him? The quarterback?
He wants to be good. I mean, he's learning the offense. It's important to him. That's the number one thing for me. I mean, every day it's a learning experience, and you got to improve every day.
Speaking on quarterbacks, KJ Jefferson, one of the main things this season was to get comfortable learning the offense. The offense probably catered to him. How have you seen his comfortability in learning the team and just meshing with the guys? Well,
when he's been successful, it's been a similar offense to what we already do. We learned about in the spring, fall camp, your installs are all pretty basic the first 3, 4, 5 days, and then we're still in the process of identifying his strengths, what he likes, what he doesn't, what he's good at, and all that, and we'll start kind of tailoring that to him. We already have a good idea, but there's nothing like fall camp, especially with the new players we have.
Colors in the spring, it's been pretty clear your target on defense was to try to stop the run. Offensively, the question I would have is the biggest challenge, again, for the third year, turning over a patchwork offensive line and getting a group of guys to kind of mesh and meld once more time. Do you think that's the biggest challenge to build the offense?
No, I mean, I don't know. What were we 2 years ago? Number 15 offense in the country. Last year, we were 7 or 8. We're going to be in that same category again. Our offensive line, we got experience. We feel good about them. I think we got a little bit of depth right there. My big deal offensively is we run disciplines crap last year, and that's coaching. We got to do a better job of the penalties. We got to do a better job of protecting the football. We got talent, but we got to do the things to help win games.
I guess you mentioned when you first came in here that you guys you're gonna make this a difficult fall camp like it was the first year you guys got here. Is that a symptom of what happened last year? I mean, is you guys just turning things up a little bit?
Yeah.
Try to apply a little more pressure to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I mean, we won 6 games. I mean, that's not good enough. And we're gonna make sure that we do everything we can as coaches to give these guys the best chance of being successful. And the fact that we got the new guys coming in, that they came from different standards, man, different programs, different expectations. We're gonna put the ball down. We're gonna flat get after it in our scrimmages, and we're gonna see who's who and who's ready and who's not.
Obviously, RJ's been a leader on the team before. What's it like now that he has the captain patch on his chest?
Yeah, he's earned it. He's earned it. He's one of those guys, everybody's got him up here, he's earned that, but he hadn't flinched. He's actually started working harder, and just that respect. He doesn't say a lot, but the respect that he has for his teammates, every day he shows up. And if you just lined our guys up and you'd say, be around them for 10 minutes, you wouldn't, you'd think the top guys, they'd have like an ego and look at me, he's completely different. He's just like everybody else. That's really one of his strengths, if not his biggest strength.
Going into your 4th season with UCF, where are you different as a head coach?
I think for me it's just getting back to me. I told our team last night, just getting back to my roots of who I am as a coach, the team taking on my personality, not a coordinator's personality or somebody else's personality. And that's really the big thing. I told you before, I did self-evaluation. anytime you lay an egg like we did last year, it starts with a darn head coach. And just self-evaluation, get back to doing, what I know to do, how I know to do it, and really approach each practice and each game with a chip on my shoulder.
What's the health status of everyone coming into camp? And it's Damari Henderson maybe didn't practice.
Yeah, no, he's the only one that still is a little bit away. He had a knee issue. We will have him back this season. I can't tell you exactly when that is, but everybody else was out there ready to go, so that's always good. And I don't think we've been able to say that anytime we've been here so far.
Time for a couple more.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.